Support WrestleTalk!
Order your copy of the WrestleTalk Almanac today using the link below. Thank you for being an awesome pledge hammer on Patreon, the Kessel Run DX Solo. Kevin Owens shoots on WWE. Cesaro is the one who knocks, and Dolph Ziggler gets pulled into the Omni-Chain. And what's the latest on WWE Champion Kofi Kingston's injury? Click the timestamps down below to jump to any of those topics. I am Luke Owen. Have yourself a super click party by subscribing, pressing the thumbs up button, and leaving a comment down below to answer our question of the day. Who do you want to see Shane feud with next? Because at this point he's feuding with half of the WWE roster. And make sure you vote in the poll above my head to let me know what you thought of the show, where you can choose from Smackdam, Smacktastic, Smack Bang in the Middle, Smackdowner, and a smack in the face. This is the 9th of July 2019 edition of SmackDown Live, the go-home show for Extreme Rules. The show opened with the night's biggest story, Kevin Owens shooting from the hip style comments on WWE. Pew 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 pew. It kicked off with Dolph Ziggler arriving at the building and getting into a scuffle with Owens, who interrupted his interview. Shane ordered Owens to leave, but KO came out to cut a promo in front of the crowd, where he essentially buried the McMahon's hollow promo from back in December, where they promised things would change and we'd be the authority now. It was all scripted, of course, and clearly signed off by Vince McMahon himself, but hearing a guy like Owens vent the frustrations of WWE fans on a live WWE product was quite liberating. He brought up names like Apollo Crews and Buddy Murphy not getting on TV, as all we've had since December is more and more Shane. However, like Beetlejuice, KO said his name one too many times and Shane appeared, adding even more realism to the segment by ordering the production team to cut 2 different microphones that KO tried to use, leading to Owens stealing Byron Saxton's headset to continue his rants. This was a fantastically chaotic opening to the show. You can't do it every week, but it felt so different to every opening to Raw and SmackDown in 2019. The main event of the show was supposed to be KO versus Dolph Ziggler, but Shane told Not Renee that he'd cancelled that match and later told Ziggy Stardust that he'd face Roman Reigns instead. Roman Reigns on a SmackDown show? I guess it had to happen sometime. If there is a downside to this, however, it's that Owens has now become part of something he was criticizing the company for: the Omni-Chain. Shane is currently involved with The Revival, Elias, Drew McIntyre, The Miz, Roman Reigns, and The Undertaker, and now Kevin Owens and Dolph Ziggler have fallen into his vortex. That is far too many wrestlers to be involved with one guy, even if that one guy is the best in the world. But enough negativity, we got a really good Finn Balor versus Shinsuke Nakamura match. Nakamura looked great here, with this match designed to rehab him after his pretty lousy second half to 2018 and his forgettable tag team run with Rusev. And credit to WWE, Nakamura did feel different here. He felt new again, and he beat Balor with the Kinshasa in convincing fashion. I cannot wait to see them do a full match on pay-per-view. After a recap of Joe versus Kofi, where they blurred Kofi's middle finger from last week, Joe cut a promo saying he would win at Extreme Rules. Kofi later cut a promo with Caleb Braxton, where he said he would win. It is a shame that Kofi's dealing with an injury at the moment, as this was not the hottest go-home angle for a WWE Championship match. Speaking of segues, Caleb brought out Nikki Cross and Bayley for a contract signing for their match on Sunday, which also involves Alexa Bliss, although she didn't sign a contract, so I don't know if she's actually involved now. Nikki and Bayley said the exact same things they've been saying now for 2 whole months, and it led to Nikki beating Carmella quickly with a neckbreaker. Or as I said on Raw's Ramble yesterday, Nikki won with a neckbreaker. The key to this segment was revealing that if Bliss and Cross won this Sunday, they would be co-champions. They finally recapped the Kabuki Warriors beating the Iconics in Japan from a couple of weeks ago, and Paige confronted the women's tag team champions backstage about a future title match. There, I forgot the belts existed as well. Paige said the match will happen, but didn't specify when, which basically means the writers don't care enough. Becky Lynch and Alison Brie are on the cover of ESPN magazine. Will WWE get their own award category for that as well? And then New Day came out for a tag team summit with Heavy Machinery and tag champs the Planeteers. There was some fun comedy with with Big E, and a great promo from Bryan who told New Day that no one takes them seriously. Heavy Machinery said they would win this Sunday because they're blue collar solid! And Otis proved this in some sense by beating Xavier Woods and Daniel Bryan in a triple threat, which, despite getting the shrink screen treatment, still had the match restarted when their respective partners fought around ringside.
That does not make sense.
Ember Moon continued her bland feud with Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, who blandly challenged her to a tag match next week. Who cares? Prince Ali, yes it is he, then cut a promo. Said that when he was a cop, he fought some monsters. This was more great stuff from Ali, who said that evil only wins if you don't show up for a fight. And with him bringing up demons, one would think that he'd be targeting Finn Balor, but he's currently tied up in a feud with Nakamura, so it'll be interesting to see where Ali goes when he finally comes back to the ring. Speaking of coming back to the ring, and Aleister Black had a split-screen interview and found out that Cesaro was the man who knocked on his door, which was reported by WrestleVotes a few weeks ago. And Black was very happy that they'll have a match this Sunday, and he's not the only one. You know, I could be down on this because it is another Raw versus SmackDown match, but it's Aleister Black versus Cesaro, so I don't really care about the rules. Shelton Benjamin continued his very weird gimmick. And Roman Reigns took on Dolph Ziggler in the show's main event, which featured the usual Omni-Shane interference, but got great by the end, with Roman wiping them all out with dives, a stunner by Owens to Shane in the ring, and a spear by Roman for the win. This was wild stuff, and a great way to end the show. And it really was a fun show overall. Apart from the Bayley-Nikki Cross stuff, there wasn't anything on the show that was actually bad. Owens cut a great promo, the main event was fun, Nakamura is back at his best, and we're getting Aleister Black versus Cesaro on pay-per-view. This week's SmackDown Live is Smacktastic. And now over to Pete with the news.
Great review, Luke. I'm still here filling in for Ollie as he's on holiday, the selfish bastard. As Luke mentioned in his review, Cesaro was revealed to be the man who knocked on Aleister Black's door, proving the previous WrestleVotes reports to be correct. Some fans had been speculating that the mystery knocker man may be a returning Bray Wyatt after the culmination of his Firefly Funhouse segments. And while this wasn't the case, reports from Dave Meltzer on the Wrestling Observer Radio are stating that Wyatt has been backstage for weeks now and that his return is expected any day now. The belief is that they're simply waiting for the Extreme Rules pay-per-view to be out of the way before they bring him back. Interestingly, a brand hasn't been chosen for Wyatt, not that it particularly matters these days, so we could be seeing him make his return on the Raw or SmackDown after Extreme Rules, leading to a SummerSlam program. I, for one, am hoping for a Universal Championship program with Seth Rollins, which Wyatt wins. Please? Speaking of winning, and it's kinda hard to tell who won in an actual shoot confrontation between AEW's Joey Janela and former WWE star Enzo Amore. The pair had been feuding back and forth on Twitter for a while, and at a Blink-182 concert, Blink-182 are still around? Janela walked up to Amore and introduced himself, holding his hand out for a handshake. Amore didn't take kindly to this, slapping Janela's hand down and putting his fists up ready for a fight. Depending on who you listen to, they either proceeded to have the shittiest fist fight ever, or Janela walked away. Both Enzo and Janela have spoken about the situation on Twitter at length, so I would recommend checking their respective pages out if you're interested. Enzo Amore made himself even more infamous in the eyes of wrestling fans in April earlier this year, when he and the former Big Cass seemingly did a shoot run-in at the G1 Supercard at Madison Square Garden. Speaking of Madison Square Garden, and it's now been revealed that for the first time in over 10 years, WWE will be holding TV tapings at the venue. Tensions had been high between WWE and MSG as they began taking bookings for other wrestling promotions, starting with the aforementioned G1 Supercard in April. Now though, WWE is returning for TV tapings of both Raw and SmackDown on September 9th and 10th. Coincidentally, and I'm sure this has nothing to do with it, AAA will be holding an event at MSG on September 15th. 5 days afterwards. Considering WWE tend to do tapings in larger arenas than what MSG could hold, could this be a reflection of declining event attendance or just a play to get back into MSG's good books? or both. Someone that will no doubt be hoping to perform at the shows is current WWE Champion Kofi Kingston. It was reported that Kingston had injured himself and missed the SmackDown live event that took place on Monday. Kofi was seen on last night's episode of SmackDown, but he didn't wrestle, only cutting a backstage promo. The reported injury he sustained was something regarding back issues. With Extreme Rules looming this Sunday, it was unclear whether Kingston would be able to compete at the show. Now, however, there's been an update on the situation. Mike Johnson of PW Insider is reporting that the belief backstage in WWE is that Kingston will be fit and ready to go by this Sunday, which is why they are still promoting Samoa Joe versus Kingston for the WWE Championship. This will come as a relief for many fans, as WWE may have booked themselves into a corner if Kingston was not able to perform. Luckily, we get to see the match happen and Kingston's injury is not too serious. The power of positivity. If you still haven't checked out Screenstalker's new content, press the video to my right to be taken to it right now, featuring Avengers Endgame discussion, Mario Maker 2, and loads more. A special thank you to our pledge hammers on Patreon, some of whom you can see scrolling below me right now. Make sure to get your copy of the WrestleTalk Almanac by pressing the link in the description below, and press the thumbs up, subscribe, and enable notifications to never miss another video. I've been Chopper Pete Quinnell, and that was wrestling.